In this video, we're going to be taking a look at my approach for uh, generating artwork that we can bring into the Hatch embroidery software to digitize an embroidery design. So a little background real quick on myself. Years and years ago, I was, maybe 10 years ago, I was involved in the embroidery industry, did a lot of digitizing, created lots of designs, made lots of garments, and then stepped out of the embroidery industry. And just now, within the last couple of months, kind of dipped my toe back into the embroidery industry. And so obviously, I'm trying to scramble and remember all the things that I used to do before and the various programs that I used to use and all this stuff because I need to be able to digitize designs. And so, as someone kind of brand new back into the industry, um, just going out there and taking a look, what I discovered, of course, is the Hatch embroidery software by Wilcom. Now, there's lots of videos on the Hatch embroidery software, but I never really saw one that took this particular approach for digitizing designs in Hatch. And so, one of the drawbacks to the Hatch embroidery software, and this is the part that's a little bit crazy to me. If you're not familiar with Hatch, it's $1,000 roughly. It's $1,000, and um, it's kind of a watered down version of the Wilcom Studio, the main Deco Studio software, digitizing software. Now, I do have a copy of that software from years and years ago, um, but I never actually used it years and years ago. The main reason that I bought the software was to edit files that I was getting from my digitizer. I had somebody who digitized logos for me, and they used the Wilcom software, but sometimes I would want to go in and tweak the underlay and so forth. So that's kind of what I bought, and they use Wilcom. So that's why I had the Wilcom software. Um, but Hatch has become, a widely popular piece of software, and there's some things in it. Someone who's brand new to Hatch, there's some things in it that I really like about Hatch, but the inability to import a vector artwork into Hatch to turn it into stitches to me is just silly. Okay, now this is a video about artwork, preparing artwork to go into Hatch. Okay, but just real quickly, and I have no affiliation whatsoever, but this is just something else to consider. If you're considering Hatch, I feel like you really ought to take a look at the drawing software too. Now, this is the software that I used to use years and years ago when drawings first came out, um, and this is the software that I used to use, and it works directly inside CorelDRAW, which was kind of nice. And one of the reasons way back when, Hatch didn't even exist then. This is one of the reasons that I use the drawing software. Now, the only reason I've looked at other software programs is because I cannot find my security key to save my soul. So at any rate, but notice right now you can buy drawings, the full software package for $1,099. Okay. And then if I could find my security key, I could upgrade my Drawings Pro to $399. So I got to find my security key, and I don't. I had 2 copies of it, and I cannot find my security key. So, but maybe they'll let me upgrade just because they know that I used to have the software. I don't know. I haven't called them yet. But so Hatch drawings, same price, more or less. But we can import vector artwork directly into drawings and convert it to stitches. But there's some functionality in Hatch that we don't have in drawings. Okay, so but I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe do your research to see which program would suit your needs better. But let's talk about Hatch, okay? Because that's what this video is about. So this is a series of logos that was sent to me by my customer, and the vast majority of your customers, I would say, the vast majority, are gonna have vector artwork. And so they chose logo number 3 here. So I'm going to get rid of the other logos. And let's go into wireframe mode here and take a look at the lines. Now, essentially, when we're digitizing in Hatch, we're creating these lines. These lines that we already have, we have to recreate them in Hatch. And there are certain tools in Hatch that are going to enable us to recreate these lines fairly easily. But what's so frustrating to me that I can't really get over the fact that we already have these lines. Why can't we just import vector artwork and convert it? I don't have the answer for you, but we can't, and so we have to recreate these lines in Hatch. So at any rate, what we're going to do here is if I pull away the A here, you could see that it's the letter A, right? And so you see this kind of double outline on the palm tree. What we're going to do is we're going to where that double outline overlaps, we're going to trim it away. So we got to get rid of this and get rid of that. And so you can see now we've trimmed that part away. So now we just have that boundary. Okay. And that's important when we go into Hatch that we have that boundary. You can see this overlaps just a touch. So we'll trim that away. And you can see this overlaps. So we'll go ahead and trim that away. And then we don't need this outline anymore. Okay, on that side. And then we kind of need to do the same thing over here. So we're going to take our trunk and trim out our D. We're going to take this outline and trim our trunk. And then we're going to take the outline and trim our D. So you can see that is taken care of. And then we're going to take our outline and trim our N. So you can see all that. Then we have this kind of this inside part of our N. So we're going to go ahead and grab our pen tool here. And all I'm going to do is kind of create a box around this. We could node edit it too. I'm just being lazy. And then trim all that stuff away. So now we don't need that outline either. So you can see what we've done here. So you see now we just have lines. And these are all the outlines that Hatch is going to look at to convert these shapes into stitches. But here's where it gets a little bit complicated. Hatch is going to do a pretty good job of converting all this to stitches. But in a big shape like this, there's no real definition at this point. So Hatch is going to take this big, odd-shaped blob and try to convert it into embroidery stitches, and it may have a very hard time creating something that is pleasing to the eye. So what we have to do is we're going to do just a little bit of prep work here. What we're going to do here in CorelDRAW, you can absolutely do in Hatch. Okay, and I may even show that when we get into the Hatch video itself. This is strictly just preparing the artwork. The next video is going to be actually taking this artwork into Hatch and digitizing it, and then we're going to digitize the same logo entirely in Hatch, just so you can see the different process of working. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to be able to give some instructions to Hatch to specifically how we want this to stitch. And that's what we're going to try and show you how to do here. So right here, we're going to take our the top of our palm tree. It's a very odd shape. It's a big blob, and we need to give it some definition. And so to do that, we're just going to grab our pen tool here, and I'm just going to start right here in the middle, and we're just clicking to a border here. And so we have our pen tool, and again, we're going to click till we get to an edge. So now I've defined that I've told Hatch this. I want you to look at this by itself. Okay. And then we're going to kind of do the same thing here. So we're going to just come right here in the middle, just randomly. And again, we're just going to we're going to go right to there. And then this area is going to be a new shape. Okay. And then we'll grab our pen tool. Go to here. And of course we could modify this once we get into Hatch, but this is just going to kind of get us started. Grab our pen tool. Guess we'll do this. Okay. So now you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 distinct pieces. Let's go back in here into this area here. What I want to do is for my trunk, I want to give it a distinct color, doesn't matter what. And then each one of these pieces, I want to give a color. So we're going to use our paint bucket tool here. This is the Smart Fill tool. And we're just going to click inside that square. And so those lines, we created a closed shape. And then we're going to, it doesn't matter what color, we're just got to give it a different color. Each one of these shapes, we're going to give it a different color. Okay. So I'm literally just grabbing random colors. Okay. So now we have all these individual colors. And then basically this palm tree is the same as this one. So we're just going to take these shapes, move them over here, we'll mirror them, and then we'll just kind of, you know, we could pick an actual point and just cover it up. So I'm going to delete, so underneath here is just nothing, right? And then we're going to give that a different color, and then we're also going to delete that black from underneath. Okay, so now this is the new artwork that we're going to bring into Hatch. I might even, I don't know, I tell you what, let's do one other thing. Because I've already digitized this logo. So I'm just going to do one other thing for you real quick here. We're going to use that Smart Fill tool again. Give that a color and give that a color. And if we go to the wireframe mode, you can see all I did is I drew a line, boop, and I drew a line, boop. That's it. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in here and delete those two lines that I created. We'll delete our solid P, and now we have two pieces. Okay. So and again, I'm going to show you why I chose to do that once we get into Hatch. All right. So essentially, this is our logo, and so now we're going to export this. So let's go ahead and export this. And we're going to export this. Let's go ahead and export it as a PNG file. And I guess we should do Harper Island. And then we'll choose export here. And then we, let's give it a resolution. I'm going to go ahead and give it a big resolution, like 1200. Okay, so we're going to give this a big resolution. We probably wouldn't have to go that high, but that's just what I chose to do. Okay, so that's it for this video. I don't want to make this video too long because we're going to take this artwork in the next video. We're going to take this artwork that we just prepared. We're going to take it into Hatch, and we're going to utilize certain features in Hatch to show you how to go about digitizing this logo inside Hatch. Thanks for watching.